What is your take on micromanagement in sales? When is it toxic and when is it needed?
Oh my God, this is such a talked about topic. I mean, being in sales, salespeople, we don't like to be micromanaged. You want me to achieve my numbers? Leave me alone. I'll do it. That is the kind of mindset that we all have and we all love. However, sales leaders, we all have a responsibility. We need to make sure that we are not letting the gang wild. So what happens is micromanagement is such an aspect which is extremely important when it comes to actually reviewing the trust. Now, let's say, for example, Asma, you work with me in my team, and I tell you, Asma, you need to do $1 million of sales this quarter, and do it. And coming end of the quarter, I see that, Asma, you've not done XYZ correctly, and hence you did not land up doing $1 million. On the other hand, you've done ABC and XYZ, and hence you are actually beyond that number. Now, as a sales leader, I don't have to wait till the end of the quarter to find out what the problem is. What you can do, especially for consultants like me, a lot of companies do that. They work with me to make sure that A, B, C, X, Y, Z is in check and they are all running well without having putting that pressure. When I come into your company and your organization and work with the sales leader, I don't have any inhibitions. I'm not judging you. I am not here to make sure that you don't earn your probation. I'm actually here to make sure that you make it till the end. And with that perspective, I help you to say that, hey, are you sure you're on track? Are you doing all these things that is required? So micromanagement can be toxic if it's done by the sales leader with pressure, because he has to be answerable to his organization, to his management, and he is restless if you're not achieving it. But when it comes with strategy, when it comes with, Asma, I'm here to help you to make sure that you are doing the right things, I think it is very welcomed. I have experience of working with salespeople who actually look forward to meet me because I'm helping them and guiding them throughout the whole journey.
So, the biggest question a lot of people have in their mind in real estate or any organization is sales for me or not? What is your take on that? Is sales for everyone or it's just for a few selected ones?
I'm going to give you an answer which might be shocking, but anyone can sell. We all sell in our day to day life. Sales is about making sure that you convince someone that, hey, you have a pain point and this is the way to go through it. Now, let me give you an example. Asma, you might be having siblings. There might be a day when your sibling is having a downtime and they reach out to you and they're looking for a solution. You do have the good intent of solving that solution, right? Because she's your sibling and you really want to help. Similarly, things go when you with your kids, with a friend. We all can sell, and selling is nothing but helping someone to solve their problem. Now, when it comes to real estate sales, for example, you're an expert. You know that, hey, XYZ property is at this location. This is perfect for a family who's looking to have access to school, malls, etc. Now, that expertise, you need to bring it to the table and convince a client as to why this is the right solution for them. So, sales is for everyone. Anyone can do sales, but only if you have a mindset of helping someone.
Helping.
And the biggest tool a salesperson has is data. I think when you speak to a client with data driven points, you are always able to show a perspective which they don't have. For example, in real estate sales, you have access to data as to how the property market has improved and increased. And if you do not act upon it now, you will be at a loss or you will have a setback. I think that is something a lot of salespeople miss. They do not bring data on the table. Now, as you might know, that in Dubai, we are almost close to 4 million population. And imagine at the rate the market is growing. We see it on the roads. It's busy. Metros are busy. Roads are busy. It's a very ripe market. The market is growing. There's a lot of need to buy properties, and a lot of companies are investing. How do you be ahead of the game is making sure that you are convincing the right audience with the right impact, which is your data. In any industry, talking about that, how you've helped other clients and how they have benefited. I think if we put all of that together, anyone can be a salesperson, but being consistent and wanting to help somebody to solve a problem is the biggest point or feature a person should have
To be a good
to
salesperson.
be a good salesperson.
But is it also right that sales is not for everyone?
I mean, human beings, we need to be motivated every day. Every day when we wake up, it's not that we are switched on and, hey, let's start the show. We need a lot of motivation, and that comes with self talk, self healing, doing work, exercising, drinking water, having the right kind of food. Now, salespeople need to be super motivated every single day. You are talking to people who are saying no to you. You are ringing people who are not picking up the phone. So imagine if you are not that people's person, you will deplete. So it's very important that you are open to conversations. You are not an introvert, sorry to use that word, but you need to be out there wanting to speak to people. Today you meet somebody in the lift, are you confident to just talk? A lot of us are not. I'm like, I'm going to ignore the person who's in the lift with me. I am having my own day. But salespeople can't afford. They need to be up and running. They need to be available, speak in the bars, speak in the lifts, be comfortable with it. So if you don't have that kind of caliber in you, maybe you not enjoy sales. And let's talk about in real estate where there's commission only sales. I mean, imagine the kind of passion that you need to have. You need to bring food on the table every month, and how are you going to do that? It's a commission only role. You need to be wiring your brain to constantly think of who do I speak to. And imagine if you don't like to speak to people, you will find it extremely difficult to meet the ends. So, in that sense, sales is not for everyone.
Why do companies need to outsource sales consultancy when they already have sales leaders in house?
That's a very good question, and I think every company will have this particular thought in their mind because end of the day, it's an extra cost. But let me tell you, you are actually saving cost by having a sales consultant on board. Um, I'll give you an example of clients I've worked with. Now, sales leaders are expected to run the big picture. Go after your big enterprise clients. Bring those large $1 million deals, or if not $1 million, $1,000 deals. If you sit and spend your time in unpacking and micromanaging your underperformers in your sales team, you are not able to chase the big picture. Let me come in and do that job. I will make sure that I will bring your underperformers back to performing, and that is actually going to add to your revenue and bottom line. The second most important point, which I have noticed and I've seen, is that sales leaders spend a lot of time with new joiners. They have to train them, they have to make sure that they understand the language, ethics, and the culture of the company. And that takes a lot of time. You can't have new joiners pack bags and say, hello, start selling in 2 days. You need to spend one whole week with them so that they feel comfortable, they understand your language, and they actually believe in your product. Now, that 1 week is taking away so much time away from the sales leader who is actually supposed to be chasing the bigger picture. I also help in training new joiners, making sure that they are certified to start running your show. That is why an external sales consultant who works with multiple industries can bring value on the table. And I think it's my passion to make sure that each and every salesperson is successful. They are not just waiting to pass their probation, but they actually have a roadmap to be retained in your company and have a long-term association.
What inspired you to move from a successful sales career to having your own sales consultancy?
Thank you so much, Asma, for this question. I've been in sales 20 years in an individual contributor role and then moving to a team leadership role. I personally believe I've always had that ambition of helping others, and I've been very successful because I feel like I connect with people very well. And when you connect with people, you're able to solve their problems, unpack the issues. I have been doing this in the long run for for a period of 20 years. And I just feel like I wanted to do more and extend this service and coach people to do this better. And that is how I've taken the plunge after 20 years of having that experience, now spreading it to much more industries and more salespeople to learn the techniques.
What was the moment when you knew you wanted to start this? You wanted to start Mimdax?
There was this particular client actually who it was a very important client for the organization that I was working for, and that client decided to not continue their relationship with the company. And being in sales, I was the front lead and an account manager for that particular client. I made sure that I retained the client with a lot of strategic initiatives, and those initiatives were almost impossible for us at the start because the client already had decided to move on. And I made sure that I actually got in touch with different touch points within the company, not only my contact person, but within many different decision makers. And that belief of actually retaining the client, and let me tell you that that story is such a successful story for me because I did not only retain the client, I also upgraded them to buy more from the company. And that gave me a sense that, hey, you know what? I can replicate this. And my strategies were my own strategies that worked. And that gave me the confidence to move
So you can
forward.
have and spread your
Spread my strategies,
helpful nature.
help more companies in getting benefit from different techniques and strategies.